Windows 11? Hatfu! Only Arch Linux today. Today I tell you how I feel and why I might never look back to Windows machine. So now I tell you why I switched from Windows machine to Linux machine. I have never used Linux before. Of course, I always wanted to try it, but never have any reasons to do so. Secondly, support of Windows 10 just ended in October this year, and I really don't like Windows 11, so now I am here. Okay, so let's start with boot time. Even with my two kernels installed, so I have this choose kernel page and several programs and services installed, Arch Linux still boots quicker than the Windows in my opinion. I'm running Wayland with the Hyprland compositor and the HyDE framework. If you install Hyprland fresh, your setup won't look like mine. Hyprland is a blank canvas, so you can style basically all what you see. It is very easy to edit, sometimes it is just CSS or config file, and you have docs on the internet, so it's very easy to manage and understand. Arch gives you multiple ways to install software like Pacman, the native package manager, or AUR, the community maintained Arch user repository. And yes, it's different from double clicking the exe file in Windows, but once you taste the speed and control, you won't miss weird stuff from Microsoft. You always have all packages listed while installing or removing. On gaming, it's honestly mixed news, but generally good. I run Heroic and Lutris launchers for Epic, EA App and GOG. Steam has its own application, so I use it. These launchers use prefixes. Basically, they are the isolated Windows environments per game or per launcher, which is great because it keeps the system clean and lets problem titles live in their own sandbox. Sometimes when you want to install game launchers inside one of these prefixes like GOG or EA, it's a little prefix nudging to launch, but once configured, the separation is a win. Performance is solid for many titles, though anti-cheat or brand new releases can still be hit or miss, and sometimes you have to download and enable some stuff like overlays because it isn't enabled by default, but it's okay. You have control what you want to have installed. Now something about other programs that I had to find alternative ones for. I swapped Office for only Office. It's open source, runs great on Linux, opens and saves Word and Excel, formats reliably, and even has a solid presentation mode. It won't match every niche feature from Office, but for day-to-day documents, spreadsheets and slides, it's more than enough. For coding, I replaced Visual Studio with VS Code plus the C# extension, and I also use JetBrains Rider. Is that a con compared to full Visual Studio? A bit, especially if someone depends on certain Windows-only designers or extensions, but it's absolutely workable. Debugging, test runners and Git workflows are straightforward. DaVinci needs extra codecs and sometimes it doesn't work perfectly on first launch, but it's fine. What I love in Arch Linux is simply speed and customization. The rolling release model means the latest kernels and apps. Without a fully OS reinstall and the system isn't collecting telemetry like on Windows machine, the system feels like mine. What still bugs me is occasional kernel and NVIDIA driver drama after updates. Modules and a stray package can break unexpectedly, so sometimes you have to spend more time on fixing stuff rather you'd like to spend. For some people, professional apps like Adobe Suite are still web only or VM only in practice, which limits native workflows. I also had some bugs with using programs or games, like pasting text didn't work and game worked slower than normal. The solution was to switch temporarily to X11 desktop session like Plasma. This is why I use these two desktop environments. So if you want to switch to Arch Linux or generally Linux machines, write down below, or maybe you already switched, so yeah, you can share your thoughts, how you feel after that decision. Okay, so thank you for watching.